Okay, Northern Woody here. I'm going to do a bit of detailing on the bike after yesterday's rain we hit. Wasn't a huge amount of rain, but it was enough to... Now what I'm finding is the back wheel gets a lot of tarnished stuff off the exhaust. The exhaust sprays a bit of crap on the back wheel. Unfortunately, that's the only thing about these pipes. The older mufflers used to stick past to about here on the bike, so that's why they're getting tarnished. The exhaust finishes here, whereas the other one's finished just before the axle, so any exhaust gas used to just go past. But in this case, with this short muffler here, you can see it finishes there. So I'm not gonna go too crazy, but I'm going to polish some of the alloy. You can see that the swing arm looks pretty good still. It's just the back wheels and they just get a bit tarnished. Same as the fuel tank. You can see it's got, you know, if you wipe a rag down it, it's quite a lot of exhaust gets on it. But considering we were in a bit of rain spray yesterday, it hasn't actually done too much. Stuff is what I'm using. It's called Purple. A lot of you might be familiar with it. Really good stuff. Like, I'd really recommend this stuff. Autosol's good, but it's a lot coarser. I find this stuff is better for finishing off. You always get a better finish. It's like anything, you use finer grade stuff, it'll polish it better. But this stuff's good. You just got to shake it because it settles, it separates the oil that's in it. I'm not quite sure exactly what's in it, but bloody awesome stuff. So yeah, that's my plug for Purple. So if you work at Purple, feel free to send me some freebies. No, yeah, right. I'll show you what I do. I just use my fingers. So basically, just give it a rub until it basically you've dissolved the purple stuff and goes black. This is how I polish. If anyone's wondering how you get the rim so polished, it's pretty much this. It's not rocket science, it's just elbow grease. You know, and I mean, you can do this twice if you want, but generally with polished alloy, the only problem with doing this is you have to keep doing it once you start, because they come with a bit of a lacquer on them, I guess, from the shop. I don't think these rims did though. Lacquer tends to peel and stuff, and I think if you're going to have polished alloy, keep it polished. Yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the ass to do, but it's not incredibly hard to keep clean. You just got to, like I say, but normally I'm sort of doing this a bit wrong, because I normally will start with the spokes, and you can't see it. A lot of people go, why do you even bother with the spokes on the inside? Because I'm fussy. I like to get the whole thing done. And the beauty of these spokes in the middle, I don't know whether you can see, you probably can't see what I'm talking about. I'll get the camera shut down. These spokes, I'm puffing and puffing now, but the spokes in here, let's give them a good polish, man. It doesn't take an awful lot of effort. Like, I'm just gonna basically polish it like that, and the results will speak for themselves. You'll notice the difference. Like I say, the swing arm, I mean, most people go, wow, that's polished. Yeah, it's clean. I mean, it's clean. I gave it a quick detail when I got back yesterday, but
Bam bam, on s'asplagie sur mon lit à bouffer sa langue en buvant trop mon whisky. Quant à moi, peu dormi, vie débris, mais j'ai dû dormir dans la gouttière où j'ai eu un flash. En 4 couleurs. Allez hop, un matin, une louloute est venue chez moi, poupée de cellophane, cheveux chinois, un sparadrap, une gueule de bois, a bu ma bière dans un grand verre en caoutchouc, comme un indien dans son igloo. Ça plane pour moi, ça plane pour moi, ça plane pour moi, moi, ça plane pour moi.
and you'll see, look, this is clean, and I'm just gonna, and you'll see there's even black coming off of that, because that's using the first rag doesn't really get it off properly. Gets it off okay, but the kids have got some friends over today, so they're going to interrupt, but that's alright. I told them to come out here if they need me for anything. But you notice when you got it off, because there's no more black comes off. That's why I like to use it. One side of the blue rag, and then when I'm actually done with the whole bike, sometimes if I'm going like to the toy run or something, which to be honest I haven't been to for years, I liked the way, I liked the event, what it's for, and I like riding along, but at the start it's always disorganised chaos. A lot of new riders, a lot of gung-ho idiots that think, you know, it's just a race to the fucking finish line, when, you know, people like almost hitting you because you crammed in. No one knows, they get the wobbles, and it's firing on your hand with the clutch, because you just constantly clutch, especially on this thing. Luckily it's got a hydraulic clutch, so it's not very hard, but even this, after a while you get sick of, you know. So I kind of got sick of that, and also the venue at the other end. It'd be nice to spend, you know, the day before, the weekend before, just spend hours on it, getting it clean. And yeah, you meet up at the track at Adelaide. In Adelaide they use the Clipsal track, or the old Clipsal track, start pits basically, the pit straight, and you start from there and you go up through the hills and you end up at Callington, which sounds great, but when you get to Callington, it's a fucking horse paddock with dust and shit. Why the fuck would you spend a week cleaning your bike, getting it spotless, to ride through a fucking dirt paddock? Like, I don't know whose fucking smart idea that was to have it at Callington. Probably someone wanted it out of the city so it wasn't fucking making too much noise. It used to be at Woodside, which is in the hills still, and it was, granted that was on an oval, but you didn't have to ride through a fucking dirt track to get to it. Like, so if anyone for the MRA is fucking listening, maybe change the venue and a lot more people will go. It's a good event for the kids. They raise, you know, money and toys for disadvantaged kids, and it's a good cause, but unfortunately they've lost me, because I'm not going to spend time cleaning my bike. And it sounds petty, like, well, it's only once a year, big deal, you know, your bike gets dirty, boo hoo hoo. You got to be able to enjoy it as well. I think it's just a shit venue for it, but that's my opinion. I've got a few mates that share the same opinion. They'd go to if it wasn't such a load of shit at the other end. But you do what you do. Sorry, I'm just moving the camera for this side now, so I'm not just talking, you can't see me. And I'll just make sure it's getting the view of the bike. So yeah, oh yeah, I suppose I should show you the difference. So this, you're probably not going to fucking know the difference on the camera, but look how shiny that is. Like, that is beaut. So yeah, it's kind of, it doesn't do it justice, the camera, but I'm just showing you what I do for people that want to know how you keep your rims so good. And like I said, the main thing with aluminium is a ride like yesterday where you get caught in the rain, bit of spray, just quick wipe down, quick dry down, get the water off of it. Even if it leaves the water marks, just get the water off it, and you'll find that it won't stain so much so easily. It's a bit easier to manage.
You are the king of the divan, qu'elle me dit en passant. I am the king of the divan. Ça plane pour moi. Ça plane pour moi. Ça plane pour moi. Moi. Ça plane pour moi.
mean, I'll definitely do a tutorial on doing the valve shims when that time comes. I don't think I have to do it till it's done like 48,000 Ks now. I did 24,000 K shims with Mike, my mate. We spent about, I don't know, 2 days doing it, and I think we had to do it over the week, because you have to order the shims. You've got to measure the shims, work out what shims you need, what size shims you need, and then you've got to order them from Harley Davidson's, Peter Stevens in Adelaide, Harley Heaven, I dare say Bikeworks probably sell them as well. But basically, and if they haven't got them in, you could take a couple of days to get them in. I think we did it. We started it one weekend and we were able to finish it the following weekend. But we also did a major service. So we flushed all the clutch fluid, the brake fluid. And a lot of people are saying that they have issues with the ABS on these V-rods when you do a brake flush, and it causes the light to come on or whatever. I've never had any issues. I'm not quite sure why people have had the issue. We didn't do it any other way apart from following the directions in the manual. And change the coolant. What else did we do? The oil, obviously. Like I said yesterday when I was riding along, the oil and the trans oil, motor oil and trans oil are the same. They're shared on this bike, on this motor. So there's only one real major oil change. I don't use synthetic oil. A lot of people go, oh, I should use synthetic oil. I don't. I use the Harley Davidson oil that they buy off the shelf, 20W50 I think it is. The one for the transmission on the Electroglide or any other conventional Harley engine that's got the 3 fluids. But that's the brand. I come from a little bit of an automotive background. I used to repair turbochargers. Sorry, I'm just looking at something. I used to repair turbochargers, and we'd quite often get the young kids coming in with their turbo cars, wanting to know, this and that, and I want to use Mobil 1 and fully synthetic oil, and we basically used to tell them that if you do that, your turbo's got a leak, man. Yeah, some people might be different nowadays, I don't know. I think if you use the synthetic from the day the motor's first fired up, then there generally isn't an issue. But turbocharging, it's sealed by a couple of rings that carbon up basically, and so in effect using the synthetic oil doesn't carbon up like the mineral oil does. And if your car has been running, if your engine's been running with mineral oil, and then you decide you're going to give your engine a birthday and make it run with the fully synthetic oil, then expect some problems. The oil, synthethetic oil, nah, I don't use it. If it was like from day dot, yes, I'd use it. This Electroglide had fully synthetic oil in it, and a mate of mine, well, Mike, my mate, again, you're getting mentioned a lot, Mike. He had a 48 and he used, he put synthetic in his, and then he found it started leaking from the rocker covers, which was kind of an ironic coincidence. So he did the gaskets and then he went back to mineral oil and was okay after that. So there could be some, I don't want to profess to be a scientist and I know what I'm fucking talking about. A lot of people go, oh no, that's bullshit, there's something else wrong with it, it's probably just worn, blah blah blah. It's funny how it happened just after he put the fucking synthetic oil in though, isn't it? It's a bit of a coincidence. But anyway, like I said, I'm only going by what my past experiences with engines and turbochargers. I know these things aren't turbocharged out the factory. It'd be good if they were, but anyway. But so yeah, that's my spiel on the whole oil, synthetic oil. So consequently, I ended up putting just mineral oil back in this thing, in the Electroglide, because I think the guy who owned it before me, I don't think he knew a lot about bikes and maintenance and stuff. There's a lot of things I had to sort of change on it. That weren't like that. He was riding around with the clutch, was way out of adjustment. I don't know, I've always had this thing that I don't know, you don't know whether the shop's doing everything they say they're doing. I guess they have to, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that they treat your bike the way you treat your bike. Like you say, no one's going to do any better work on your bike than yourself. No one's going to take more care than yourself. I mean, whenever I'm doing anything like engine work or stuff, it's easier on this bike because you can take off the airbox cover tank to do any sort of repairs or servicing, like spark plugs and shit. You got to take all that off. Coolant flush, any sort of work. When we did the valves, you have to actually drop the motor down about yay far. You take the tubes out the bottom and you drop it down. It sounds horrendous. It's not that bad. Look at that. You surely we're going to notice a difference in that wheel shine. And even that, look, I've done those, the pulley in the centre of it. And this is the point where I go, oh, I've done that, I might as well do the next bit. But no, I'm not going to do it today. I might do the front wheel just because of the rain yesterday. But the back one's the most annoying because it gets all that exhaust spray off the exhaust and it coats it in. It just tarnishes it. That's the only thing about aluminium. It's like anything that you polish, it's going to expose it to the elements. I mean, obviously over time the air will tarnish it. And here's another little thing I like to do, and this is how fussy I am. And again, my mate Mike, he put me onto this because a lot of people don't do it. Look how scungy that back of that, where the exhaust comes out is. And okay, as soon as you start the bike up, it's gonna fucking do it. Actually, no, it doesn't. It doesn't sort up straight away. It takes a good, half-hour ride to sort it up to the point where you go, I need to clean that again. Look, I don't go anything crazy. I use a little bit of purple in my finger, and I basically just give that a clean, just to get it looking nice again. Again, a lot of people wouldn't bother. Yeah, that's up to you. I don't think it's that big a deal, is it, to just polish it a bit more. Yeah, like I say, I don't go crazy. I don't spend half an hour polishing it because I know it's just going to get tarnished again. But it's impressive when you go for that first ride and you might stop at a bloody shop or something, and even going on the road you'll notice how the hell is that exhaust so shiny? Believe me, it doesn't stay like that. But this is how fussy I am. And I mean, look at that. Look at how shiny that is. That you can't get it much better than that. Let's see what I'm doing. I mean, look at that. Look at that. You tell me that's not worth doing. Anyway, enough of the crap. Okay, so this is a finished product. I've decided just to polish the rest of it. Did the paint, did all the crankcase covers, all the clutch cover, the derby cover, swing arms, the works. And unfortunately, when I put it on the bike stand, I severed the LED lights. But I have managed to reattach them and fix them, so they're working again. It was on this side here. Oh, shut up. We're not at the windmill farm now. So yeah, I managed to reattach them with special clips that came with the lights, luckily. Eventually I might look at getting some better ones. These are actually just household ones that I've rigged up. They're 12 volt, so I could use them with this ignition. But I may endeavour to get better ones. It'd be good if you could get like tubular ones rather than flat ones, because where they're going to fail is around the bends where the vibration and the heat eventually is just going to rip them. They're so delicate, they're not very good for this sort of thing. But it was just mainly to see if I liked it. I do like it. I think it looks great, especially at night. And that's about it. So yeah, bike, I'm about to tuck it away for bed so that it's ready to go. Next time I go for a spin, it will be all clean and beautiful. So there you go, finished product. You know, that took me today about 3 hours to do the rest of it. So you can see how the time adds up. Yesterday's probably 2 hours yesterday, 3 hours today, so there's 5 hours. That's about how long it takes. So yeah, anyway, adios from Northern Woody. We shall see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will do some future vlogs on more technical stuff on the bike, but other than that, enjoy your riding.